Hello and welcome to a practice session. And this session we would practice cell biology questions. So this is the second practice session of cell biology. You would expect 10 questions and there would be 20 minutes for that. So before that, let me tell you that you must be preparing for several examinations and you're confused at this moment that how to prepare, especially in this time of COVID and lockdown. In this situation, you should study safe and study from home. But what about the financial aspect? Because right now India is going through an economic crisis, and in this situation, it's difficult for your family to afford a lot for your education. So, Unacademy is bringing you some good news. They are bringing scholarship test. About 10 lakhs of scholarship is provided in April or in May month. Each month there would be scholarship test. For example, 23rd May, that means this Sunday, there would be a scholarship test, and this test would lead to like selection of candidates which are eligible, and they can get the whole subscription for Plus platform for free. So don't miss out this test. And 11 a.m. is the time. Note this time. All the link is provided in the description. You can click on the link which would directly direct you to that particular page. All you need to do is download the app, use my code AP10, and then you can start giving the test. Now, Unacademy is really working hard to bring all the top educators in India who can provide you analytics, study plan that would help you in your journey. So, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's come back to the question answer session. So, first question says the target cell of a lipid soluble hormone such as cortisol are able to respond to it because of which of the following? Their genome include the appropriate transcriptional response element. They have membrane-bound cell surface receptors. Only target cell express appropriate cytosolic receptor. The hormone receptor complex stimulates phosphorylation, dephosphorylation of subsequent protein in the signaling pathway. Right? So, question is how a cell which is a responder cell for a lipid soluble hormone can respond to it. Why it can respond, right? So there are multiple reasons to it, and since it is IIT JAM, there might be multiple options correct. So try to look at this question. So obviously these cells genome which would have like appropriate hormone responsive element, for example cortisone or cortisol responsive element they would have, and that's why target genes can be transcribed in these cells. Secondly, these target cells would have appropriate cytosolic receptor or receptors that are situated in the nucleus. So receptors and the hormone response element both are present in these cell type, and that is why they can possibly work. So this is the correct answer. Okay, next question says which organelle is present only in animal cell? Easy question, but sometimes people fall into the trap. If you have guessed it correctly, correct answer would be centrioles, which is not present in the plant cells. A cancer researcher wanted to compare a patient-derived cell line X with a control cell line C for determining characteristic of cancer. In order to check the rate of division, he gave 5-hour pulses of BRDU, which is a uridine analog, and then washed it off and transferred the cell in regular media. What could be correct observation after this experiment? 30 minutes after the pulse, cell line X has higher number of BRDU positive cells compared to cell C. 2 days after the pulse, when he collected equal number of cells from the sample X and control sample X has lower BRDU cells than cell line C. Both the observations are correct and logical. Only option A is correct when B is not logical. I want you guys to answer this in the comment section. This is really important because see, these kind of questions people have asked. If BRDU is added in the dividing cells, it would be incorporated in the DNA. In which stage? It was a IIT JAM question. So obviously they would be incorporated in the S phase of cell cycle. Now, using this as a clue, try to solve the previous question and please comment in at the end of this video. Okay, paracrine signaling is involved in which of the following biological process? So you have to first know what paracrine signaling is, and these kind of questions are really common in IIT JAM. So chemical signals that can travel very long distances between organs, such as thyroid hormone exerting its biological effect on the target cells, autostimulation of a T helper cell by interleukins, hormonal communication between pituitary secreted growth hormone and bones, synaptic transmission between two excitatory neurons. So which one of these could be an example of paracrine signaling? Okay, if you have guessed it correctly, it would be D. Paracrine means things are in close vicinity. That means synapses are quite close enough. So that kind of signaling mode is paracrine. Okay, by the way, let me tell you, if you want more questions like these and detailed explanation of all of these questions, you can see week by week cell biology topics are covered by my Unacademy Plus courses. You can go there and learn in details. Okay. Next question, that cilia and flagella are made up of intermediate filaments, microfilaments, microtubules and microfilaments, and only microtubules. So this is again a trick question, right? Because the question becomes tricky when the option C and the option A and B are there. So people would confuse between all of these. So I want you guys to answer in the comment section. Which of the following is found in the nucleus of animal cell? Microtubule, actin filaments, microfilaments, or intermediate filaments? These question, or a pro forma which is similar to this question, was asked twice in IIT JAM. And here, if you have guessed correctly, it would be option D, intermediate filaments. Lamin is one of the intermediate filaments which is present in the nucleus. So lamin scaffold hold the nuclear envelope. Okay, next question says, which of the following statement is false regarding cell cycle events? In G1 phase, cell experience external growth factor mediated signaling which leads to transcription of cyclin D1 gene. Okay, in S phase, DNA replication takes place. Centrioles duplicate at G2. In metaphase, the centrosomes are arranged in form of a metaphase plate. So you have to understand which one is not correct. Here the incorrect statement is basically C, and this is the correct option here. Okay, next question says cytochalasin D inhibits the formation of microfilaments. Which of the following biological activities will be hindered if you provide, cytochalasin D? Okay, it might be a MSQ type question which would have multiple options correct, so you have to choose all the options. Muscle contraction, cytosolic transport of vesicles, amoeboid movement of the phagocytotic cell, formation of cleavage furrow following telophase. So if you have guessed correctly, only option B requires microtubule. So it requires microtubule because kinesin and dynein motors generally move on microtubules and take the cargo out. So this is one of the statement which involves microtubule. Other than that, option A, C and D all involves actin. For example, muscle contraction is well-known phenomena, and we know that actin myosin cross bridge formation is important. So if you hinder that actin, obviously this process would be abrogated. Amoeboid movement requires cytoskeletal dynamics, especially the actin dynamics in the cellular periphery. And lastly, the cleavage furrow, the actomyosin ring is required for pinching off the two cells in the cytokinesis phase. So obviously that requires actin as well. So option D is also correct. So A, C and D are the correct options. Okay, last question is slightly difficult, but it's important. It's more analytical. It might not be useful for IIT JAM, but it's super important for, let's say, TIFR JHPLs. A researcher was formulating a novel drug which he thinks can induce cell growth by positively modulating MAP kinase pathway. Since MAP kinase pathway is one of the growth regulating pathway, it's legitimate to think about that. In order to test his hypothesis, he divided HEK cells into sets, control and treated, and tested them for MAP kinase signaling activity. He used phosphorylation of ARC as a readout. The Western blot analysis is shown here. What conclusion can be derived from his result? So here is a Western blot. He has 3 control sample, 3 treatment sample, and from this Western blot, what conclusion you can derive? So here is ARC versus phospho-ARC, and here is a beta actin. So the conclusions are as following. Option A says MAP kinase signaling is activated upon treatment with the drug, and his hypothesis is validated. MAP kinase signaling is not activated upon treatment with drug, and his hypothesis fails. MAP kinase signaling is unchanged, none of the above. So if MAP kinase signaling is active, then ARC would be phosphorylated. So you would get more phosphorylated ARC than normal ARC, right? In this case, instead of getting more phosphorylated ARC, your phosphorylated ARC level has decreased. That is counterintuitive from your hypothesis. MAP kinase signaling pathway is not activated. Instead, some reduction in phospho-ARC is obtained. So obviously, option B would be the most appropriate option. So it's not activated, right? Looking at the phospho-ARC level. All the options and all the required information is provided in the question. What you need to know, connecting all the dots and try to answer. So these kind of questions are very popular in TIFR JEEGLs, which focus more on analytical part than the informative part. So I hope this overall practice session give you a quick idea. If you like this video, give it a quick thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.